Hey guys, welcome back to the news. Today is March 29th, 2022. And the news is sponsored by Analog Spotlight, a group of photographic retailers and manufacturers who have joined together to support analog photographic media and keep analog photography thriving worldwide. So thanks to those brands, these news are free and open to everybody to watch. I'll leave the link below to analogspotlight.com. Remember, there's an event the 14th of May, the first international event in the UK. If you want to attend, I'll leave the link below. So we start with small news. We have Negative Supply making, finishing up, I guess, their basic roundup of products with the Negative Supply Basic Hood. What this does is create a lens hood on top of their basic 35mm holder that basically keeps the light, like the stray light like we have now in the studio, off your images, so when you're scanning you get no reflections. Reflections on your scans is usually one of the worst things, and obviously you can either turn off the lights in your room or also maybe minimize with something like a lens hood and a film holder hood in this case. So it's available at $30. I think they've run out of stock, but they will have more soon. Then we have TTArtisans, who announced the light meter a couple months ago, and now they're making their light meter in black paint brass. So it's made out of brass instead of what other metal they were using, and it's like painted with black. So it kind of matches that Leica, brass black paint. So if you're interested in that, I'll leave the link below. The light meter is decent. I wouldn't say it's the best one out there, but it does the job for most scenes. The difference in light meters usually goes with the amount of EVs they can read. Sometimes they don't start till EV7 and they max out at EV15, and if there's low light, they don't work. The only one I've seen that actually works really well at all the EVs is the Voigtlander VC Meter 2. So just so you know. Then we have Light Lens Lab and Siegel. If you don't know, Siegel is a manufacturer of cameras that did a TLR. I think they did more than a TLR. I might be wrong there. And they were made, I think, in Hong Kong or mainland China. And it was basically a TLR camera made there. And it was not the worst quality. It was more than a Lubitel, maybe around the Yashica Mat 124G-ish. I haven't used one myself. I've seen a couple in my hands, but I can't tell you exactly how good they are. Well, it looks like Light Lens Lab is trying to resurrect the brand, upgrading sometimes the glass, spare parts, painting, leatherettes, and so on. So this is cool news. They basically will be refurbishing and maybe making new cameras. Not that we know yet, but so far it seems like refurbish. Talking of Light Lens Lab, we also have a 35mm f2 collapsible. This has been hinted multiple times, but on their social media now you are going to be seeing more and more of this because it seems they're on version 4. It looks pretty close to finalized. It's extremely small. This is basically the first time that I see at least a 35mm f2 collapsible lens. I've seen 35mm maybe those Elma, I don't know if Leica has some 35 collapsible, and I know MS Optics had that 35-1.4 collapsible. This is a 35mm f2. So I'll leave the link below. You can follow them, and if you're interested in the lens, probably will be available in the next following months. I'll keep you guys updated. Then we go to probably the biggest news this week, that is Fuji, well, I guess Fuji Film is the biggest news this week. Fuji Film has been announced. It's a 400 speed slide film in 35mm format. This seems to be done by Bellamy and a few partners. They have made a brand new, no frozen, no deep freezer, no old vintage winery kept in barrels in Italy film. This is made in Europe. It's a brand new slide film with ISO 400. Do remember that slide film in ISO 400 hasn't been available since basically Fuji 400X. So yeah, new film. I still can't believe that they managed to just basically develop a slide film in 2022 without anybody really knowing about it, that as far as I can tell, and that it's available soon. So very, very good news. A new slide film. Basically rounded up the 3 announcements of last week. Kodak Gold, Cinestill 400D, and Fuji Film. Talking about Cinestill 400D, they've basically kicked the ball out of the park with the film. They are almost at 500,000 pre-sales, and they're 8% away from 4x5. And one thing to note on the 4x5, first of all, you can already order it, and if they reach that 10,000 film makers, they will release the 4x5. But also, it's the cheapest 4x5 color film available whenever they make it available. So I guess now. The pack of 100 sheets is like $400, so this comes to around $4 per shot. And yes, if you don't live in the States like most of the world, you basically have to pay custom fees and like shipping and so on. But considering the Portra, for example, in Europe is now almost 100 euros for 10 sheets, that's 10 euros a shot. This is less than half the price, so you might want to consider. 400D has a special color palette and, the remjet removal looking halos, because I don't think it has the backing anti-halation layer. So take it with a grain of salt, but there's only 8% missing to make this possible. And like I said, cheapest color film in 4x5. So I'm very excited to see it happen. Talking about Fuji, like I was saying before, Fuji price increase. So I read this last week. Didn't know it was real. Couldn't find a link. This week it seems to be official. Fuji Japan has announced, and I'm going to read it off the news. There's a price increase, and I'll read. April 1st, 2022. Not an April Fool's joke. Sorry, guys. Like Leica price increase in April 1st. Also Fuji. Photo film, this is translation, 20 to 60% increase. Then May 1st, color photographic paper, 10 to 20%. Photo processing chemicals for color photography, about 10%. And June 1st, 2022, Pro Lab products, printed products and services, 8 to 94%. Fuji has continuously done this. It almost is getting to the point where, it is getting to the point that they increase the price, then they discontinue from lack of demand, then they increase the price, they discontinue because of lack of demand, they increase it. So it kind of is becoming a vicious circle. I don't know what photo film will be this. It might be Provia, it might be Instax, it might be who knows what, because they're not explaining exactly what film stocks are going up, and 20 to 60%. Maybe Provia goes 60, maybe Instax goes 20. For either way, it's, sad news to see film keep going up. I just hope that at least they don't discontinue anything. Price increases are hard, but with the current Kodak price increases, Fuji was getting to be cheaper than Kodak, which has been a thing that hasn't happened in a few years. So just so you know, the price increase from Fuji coming the next following months, basically. So yeah, that is the news for this week. As always, thanks to our sponsors to keeping the news live for everybody to watch. As always, you can send me any information I forgot to the email below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye. Oh, you can also send me chocolate coins. These are chocolate coins that you can eat, which I'm not going to open because they're props. But you can also send those if you want. I also eat chocolate, obviously. So yeah, see you guys. Bye.